Fear is a universal emotion. It grips us in moments of uncertainty, whispers doubts in the quiet corners of our minds, and sometimes roars so loudly it seems to drown out reason and hope. Yet throughout history, people from all walks of life have learned not only to face their fears, but to transform them into a source of strength. Overcoming fear is not about denying its existence. It's about developing a spiritual strategy that allows us to grow stronger, more resilient, and more courageous with every challenge we encounter. The journey to overcoming fear begins with understanding its roots. Fear often arises from the unknown, from not knowing what will happen next, or whether we are equipped to handle what life brings. It can be triggered by past experiences, future anxieties, or even imagined scenarios that may never come to pass. At its core, fear is the mind's way of trying to protect us from harm. But when left unchecked, it can become a barrier that prevents us from experiencing life fully, pursuing our passions, and stepping into our potential. A spiritual approach to overcoming fear invites us to look beyond the immediate circumstances. It asks us to connect with something greater than ourselves, a source of wisdom, peace, and strength that remains steady even when the world around us feels uncertain. This connection can be found through various practices, including prayer, meditation, mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature. Whatever form it takes, the goal is to quiet the noise of fear and listen to the still, small voice within. One of the most powerful spiritual strategies for overcoming fear is cultivating presence. Fear thrives in the past, in the future, in regrets for what has happened, or worries about what might be. Presence, on the other hand, anchors us in the current moment. When we focus our awareness on the here and now, we notice that, more often than not, we are safe, we are breathing, and we are capable of handling whatever comes. Mindfulness practices, such as deep breathing or body scans, can help ground us in this present reality, reducing the hold fear has over our thoughts and emotions. Another essential element of a spiritual strategy for strength is faith. Faith is not simply a belief in a particular doctrine or tradition. It is a deep trust in the unfolding of life, a confidence that we are supported and guided even when we cannot see the path ahead. This faith allows us to move forward despite our fears, to take risks, and to embrace uncertainty with an open heart. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that every challenge contains the seeds of growth. Gratitude is also a powerful antidote to fear. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, our perspective shifts. We begin to see the beauty and abundance in our lives, and fear loses some of its power to dominate our thoughts. Keeping a gratitude journal, or simply taking a few moments each day to reflect on what we are thankful for, can help rewire our brains to notice the positive, even in difficult times. Self-compassion is another key aspect of overcoming fear. Often we are our own harshest critics, berating ourselves for feeling afraid or for not being brave enough. A spiritual approach encourages us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer to a friend. It's okay to feel fear. It's a natural part of the human experience. By acknowledging our fears without judgment, we create space for healing and transformation. Community and connection are also vital to building spiritual strength in the face of fear. Sharing our fears with others, whether through conversation, support groups, or spiritual gatherings, reminds us that we are not alone. We draw courage from the stories of those who have faced similar challenges and emerged stronger. In community, we find encouragement, perspective, and a sense of belonging that can help us navigate even the most daunting situations. A spiritual strategy for overcoming fear also involves cultivating purpose. When we have a clear sense of meaning in our lives, our fears become less overwhelming. We are willing to face discomfort and uncertainty when we know that our actions are aligned with our deepest values and aspirations. Reflecting on our purpose, what matters most to us, what we want to contribute to the world, can provide a wellspring of motivation and resilience. Forgiveness, too, plays a role in overcoming fear. Sometimes our fears are rooted in past hurts, betrayals, or disappointments. Holding on to anger or resentment only feeds our fears and keeps us stuck. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior. It means releasing the hold the past has on us so we can move forward with greater freedom and peace. Visualization is another spiritual tool that can help us confront and transcend our fears. By imagining ourselves facing our fears with courage and grace, we begin to build new neural pathways in the brain. Over time, these mental rehearsals can translate into real-world confidence and strength. Visualization is especially effective when combined with affirmations, positive statements that reinforce our belief in our ability to overcome obstacles. Ultimately, overcoming fear is a journey, not a destination. There will always be new challenges, new uncertainties, and new opportunities to practice courage. Each time we face our fears, we grow stronger, more compassionate, and more connected to our true selves. The spiritual path does not promise a life free from fear, but it does offer tools and perspectives that enable us to rise above it. In summary, a spiritual strategy for overcoming fear involves presence, faith, gratitude, self-compassion, community, purpose, forgiveness, and visualization. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, we build a foundation of inner strength that can weather any storm. We learn to see fear not as an enemy, but as a teacher, an invitation to grow, to trust, and to live more fully. In the end, it is not the absence of fear that defines us, but the way we meet it, with an open heart, a courageous spirit, and an unwavering trust in the journey. As we walk this path, fear transforms from a force that holds us back into a catalyst for growth, wisdom, and profound inner peace.